This video is sponsored by Animal Kingdom, which is the game we're learning how to play today. Hooray. Animal Kingdom is a trading card game where you're the mayor of a city and you want to see it prosper. Along with your assistant mayor, you'll need to construct buildings, hire workers, and send adventurers out on dangerous quests so you can obtain renown for your town. You might even need some stratagems to outperform the other town mayors in the area. The first mayor to get 50 renown becomes the most reputable settlement in all the land. And that means they win the game. In Animal Kingdom, there are 7 types of cards: assistant mayors, buildings, workers, quests, adventurers, stratagems, and schemes. The assistant mayor is your top advisor. They start the game on the board and determine what attribute all your other cards need to be. There's 4 of those, but we'll get back to that later. The assistant mayor also has an ability or two that might inform you of the playstyle they're looking to build. Next up are the buildings, which make you cold, hard cash. It's called Sola in this game. Basic buildings only generate Sola, but there are advanced buildings that do other effects. Workers are the lifeblood of your town. They can generate renown and provide other helpful effects like recycling cards from the discard, making certain cards more expensive for everyone, or even making your opponent lose renown. Workers cost Sola to play, and they have a gain stat that determines how much renown they generate. To generate this renown, they have to become exerted, the old 90-degree turn to show that they've been used. Many workers need to be exerted to use their other ability too, so you'll have to decide if you want more win points or more effects. After that, we have the adventurers, who are often their own deck. These brave souls will venture into danger for the prosperity of the town. They have a Sola cost, an ability box, and 3 stats that help them complete quests, which is a different type of card. Quests are also in their own deck, and every turn, a new quest is revealed. Quests have requirements to be completed, usually some stat total that needs to be reached, and a reward for when the party of adventurers with the right stats completes it. Then there are scheme cards. They're like equipment cards, but I don't have any to show off right now, so they're gonna have to remain a mystery. Subscribe to Animal Kingdom YouTube. Boom, got them. The final card type is the stratagem. These are your one and done type cards that can do things like give temporary stat boosts to your adventurers, or kill your opponent's adventurers, or, actually I'm not sure what this one does. Stratagem cards do what they say and then they go to the recycling, which is what the discard area in this game is called. They also come in 2 varieties, slow and fast. Slow can only be played on your turn during the city phase, while fast can be played at any time, even your opponent's turn. Now you might be thinking, city phase, what's that? Well, now we can go through the setup and turn order. To start a game of Animal Kingdom, you're going to need a 50-card expansion deck. This is what the buildings, workers, and stratagems go in. Then you're going to need a 15-card adventurer deck and a 10-card quest deck. Each of these decks can have 4 copies of the same card, except basic buildings, which you can have as many of as you want. See, I built this deck of 49 cat cafes and a singular cat. He's gonna have his work cut out for him. Some cards are also legendary, and you can only have 3 total legendary cards across all of your decks, and only 1 copy of each one. You'll also need your most trusty companion, your assistant mayor. Put them face down though, it's a secret. Once you have all that, take a basic building from your expansion deck and put it face down as well, and then shuffle all the decks. You can even shuffle your assistant mayor if you really want to. Once the decks are shuffled, draw 7 cards from your expansion deck. Observe them, study them, find any signs of weakness. Actually, this hand kind of blows. You can take any cards you don't like and shuffle them back into your deck and then draw back up to 7 cards. This is the game's mulligan and you can only do it 1 time. Once everyone has decided to mulligan or not, you need to figure out who's going first. You could do the old high roll, die roll, rock, paper, scissors, a quick game of zombie world order on the side, whatever you want. Once it's decided, everyone flips up their assistant mayor and basic building, concluding the setup phase. This phase never happens again. The first actual phase is the upkeep phase, where you lose any unspent Sola from the previous turn, and then your buildings generate new Sola. Then, you refresh all exerted cards. Finally, you flip any active quest you have face down, and then flip the top card of your quest deck face up to be the new active quest. If the quest deck ever runs out, just shuffle all the previous active quests into a new quest deck and then flip the top one. After upkeep is the draw phase. Move the top card of the expansion deck into your hand cards, except if it's the first player's first turn. They don't get to draw nothing. Then we have the main phase you'll actually play stuff in, the city phase. There's a bunch of stuff you can do in this phase, and you can do them in whatever order you want. You can play one building per turn so that you have more resources for the next turn. If you don't have any building cards, you can put any card face down as a slums building that will generate 1 sola in the upkeep phase. Another thing you can do once per turn is scout, which is to draw the top card of your adventurer deck. You can play adventurers and workers during the city phase as well. Just subtract their cost from your current sola and throw them on the board. They aren't very productive on the turn that they're played though. Workers can't be exerted for renown or for their abilities, and adventurers can't be sent questing until the next turn. Typical government work. Otherwise, they could do those things. Turn workers sideways and declare them to be gaining renown or using their ability. Something to note is that there's only room for you to have 5 adventurers on the board. Wouldn't want the tavern getting too overcrowded. You can also play stratagems in the city phase. Pay up, do what they say, put them in recycling. Other card types like your assistant mayor or special buildings might have effects that they can use here as well. Overall, the city phase is kind of the build up to the quest phase. In the quest phase, you send your heroic adventurers on any active quests that are on the board, even the other players. Choose a quest and then assemble a party of refreshed adventurers to send into imminent danger.
All right, men. The journey ahead is filled with danger, but the rewards will be great. Let us journey forth and take on the horrors of... Oh.
At this point, the other mayors have a chance to contest the quest. They could send their own group of adventurers to try and complete the quest. They can even use adventurers they played on the same turn to contest. Whoever exceeds the quest requirements by the most is the party that completes the quest. So if I sent my party with 4 strength to complete Slip and Slide, which requires 2 of any stat to complete, then one of my opponents contests with a party that has 5 Guile. They've completed the quest by 3 points, and I've only completed the quest by 2 points. So they would reap the sweet rewards, and I would get nothing. And then all my adventurers would die.
No! The slimes! They were too much.
If there's no contest and the quest requirements are met, all of the adventurers become exerted, that player gets the quest reward, and then the quest card is flipped face down. If there's a contesting party and they succeed, they get the quest reward and the quest flips face down, but they also must retire one of the adventurers in the party to the recycling zone. The original quester retires all of their adventurers though because they failed the quest. Likewise, if the contention fails, all of that player's adventurers are retired. Questing is a dangerous business. If the original quester or a contender would succeed the quest by the most, but still fail to meet the quest requirements, possibly due to a rogue fast stratagem changing the numbers, the entire party is retired to the recycling zone, and the quest stays face up for other intrepid adventurers to attempt. If both players exceed the quest by the exact same amount, both parties are retired and the quest stays face up. Whenever someone declares that they're going on a quest with their party, priority goes around the table in player turn order to see if anyone wants to contest the quest or play a fast stratagem. Then, the other players have one more chance before the quest is completed to play a fast stratagem. If an adventurer becomes exerted while on a quest, they return to their city. It sure would be a shame if your top wizard got thrown in jail in the middle of trying to fight some terrifying rock golems. You can quest as many times as you want as long as you have enough refreshed adventurers to send out. Whew! I think that's about it for the quest phase. After the quest phase, there's a second city phase where you can do anything that you didn't do in the first city phase. At long last, there's the end phase, where you discard down to 7 cards in your hand if you have more than that, and then the next player becomes the active mayor and starts at their upkeep phase. And that's pretty much the game. Build your city building by building, workers toiling away while adventurers complete quests. With 4 attributes, will you play the fiery power attribute to complete more quests faster than anyone else? How about the authority attribute that can build a grand army of skilled workers to bring glory to their city and tell people no? Or maybe you're more of a sneaky git and you want to play subterfuge, who turns opponents' renown into money and silently assassinates enemy workers in their own cities. Perhaps you need more time to think, in which case you could play mysticism and freeze your enemies so they can't act at all. All of this and more is available in Animal Kingdom's first set, which is currently on Kickstarter, link in the description. I've been 2 Lanes the Card Game Crypt Man, and I'm out.